So I've got the bow dialed in for the Easton FMJs with a 125 grain tip, but because I'm going to the Total Archery Challenge, I'm going to use the X Impacts that are much lighter. So I get to redo my stupid sight tape for the third time. Sight tapes, they're so dumb. It's I hate sight tapes.
All right, so I don't know if you can see it, but right above the blue tape, just to the left, you can see that orange knock. Just sticking out of the fence post. Yep, first arrow of the day. Perfect shot.
So, probably just ruined a $20 arrow. Awesome. That's why I bought 18 of them, because I knew that I'd need a dozen and I was probably gonna mess some of them up. First arrow out of the bow, total failure. This is where I've settled at 50. Obviously, I'm shooting at the bottom of the tape. These things are like rocket ships. They're so fast. And the other thing is they've got a twist. They're silent. I am super impressed so far. These three, I was obviously aiming at the top line. The bottom arrow there, I was aiming at the bottom one. This one I was aiming at the bottom line, and then this one I was aiming at the bottom line as well. I wasn't trying to stack them in for a group because I don't want to hurt the arrows, but every once in a while, you just feel like everything's kind of clicking. I was worried about that. If you stack the arrows even a little bit, the vanes are so lightweight, they're not going to be able to take it. So I'm really going to have to be careful and make sure I'm spreading them out.
All right, so evidently this pen is not going to work.
I've always really liked 70 yards for some reason. So literally those were the first two shots at 70. So that's pretty good. So I'm just gonna stop right there. So at 80 yards, I get involved with the chickens because we're very near their cage and it's been raining so much. They decided to grab some of my arrows and throw them in the mud. That was my first one at 80. That was my second one. And then I dialed back up a hair, those two in the center of the tape at 80. These things are amazing. X Impact with, I don't even remember what the vanes are. The dude at the shop just was like, this is what you need. I'm sold.
But that's all it's doing all day long is killing things. It's unbelievable because that's as true as everything.
Now I did adjust after that first one because I could see that that was low, but that is the best group I've ever had at 90 ever. That is ridiculous. This is the distance where it gets real. 100 yards is a ridiculously long way to try to shoot an arrow accurately. I'm worried that I'm just gonna do this repeatedly for the next hour and not be able to dial it in, which will be super frustrating. What else is there to do? All right, I think that's settled for the 100-yard. So I was aiming at the blue tape. This one just a scotch low, this one right in there, and then just one just a scotch high. So that's as good as I'm going to be able to do at 100 yards. $110 so this was my first shot. Again, I wasn't really worried about the windage very much, and so I adjusted, and that's shot number 2 at 110 yards. This is the first time that I've moved down to the second fiber on the post, because now I'm getting into clearance issues with the vane. So on this post, there's a single fiber at the top, and then about halfway down there's a secondary, and I'm hoping that that will allow fletching to clear the housing without an issue. The course only goes out to 125 yards. I won't have to flip the arrows over and risk hitting the rest or anything like that. So 120 yards. Nailed it. These first 2 here were high, so I dialed the bow down and ended up hitting low, and then these 2 here were my last 2 shots. So right in the middle of the paper and then just a hair high.